Hello, Just2 Film here, and today I want to review The Whale, the newest Darren Aronofsky film. And Darren Aronofsky was one of my favorite directors when I first started getting into films the way I am now. See, I was in love with David Lynch films around 2017, but I really started getting into films the way I am more now, of watching them like daily and everything around like 2019. And Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream was one of those first movies I saw where it's like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Then eventually I discovered Michael Haneke. So I was super hyped for this regardless, but it's been a while since I've watched a Darren Aronofsky film, if I had to be honest, where I watched all of his filmography aside from Noah about 2019, except for Mother, which I saw back in 2017 when I was into David Lynch. So I was like, oh, this is pretty Lynchian or whatever. Regardless, for The Whale, this is also the return of Brendan Fraser, as a lot of people are saying, where this is his first lead acting role in a very long time in a movie of this size budget, even though this is an independent release from A24. Now, The Whale is dark, depressing, but also hopeful in many of its moments in how it tackles these very hard subjects with obesity, with addiction, with queer erasure, with balancing religion and finding a purpose at the end of life. I really love how it tackles these issues without in any way coming off as preachy, showing different perspectives for each. And I think just how it handles obesity in this movie is something that I've only seen in another movie, which would be Terry. Terry is one of my favorite movies, and it handles being obese and that experience with such tact and respect. And I really love that movie. So I was very happy to see that this isn't just making fat jokes throughout the whole movie. And it doesn't come off as shaming the main character who is obese, but rather exploring the realistic situation that he is in. Now, this isn't just a Brendan Fraser piece because, oh my gosh, Chau does amazing in this movie. She's freaking phenomenal here, and it's probably my favorite role from her aside. Yeah, this is my favorite role from her, honestly. Still gotta see Driveways, though. I know Pond has been telling me to see that. Regardless, Sadie Sink shows up from Stranger Things. Samantha Morton, who's one of my favorite actresses, shows up from Synecdoche, from The Messenger. I love her. From, what else? Minority Report. And even Ty Simpkins. Yeah, the kid from Iron Man 3 shows up in a pretty mature role. And one thing I really love about this film is how it tackles weed addiction. Pot addiction is something I haven't seen tackled in many films, if at all. And Sadie Sink's character really has these mannerisms that a pot addict would have. And I really love seeing that on screen. And also acknowledging some of the downfalls of this while not completely demonizing it because, you know, so many things in life have their downfalls and have their cons. It was just an interesting perspective to see with marijuana. And while this is adapted from a play by Samuel D. Hunter, who also is the sole writer of the movie, I was really happy to have this feeling that this isn't a cheap one-location production. It does really only use one location, but it doesn't come off as something that was adapted from a play. And that's thanks to Darren Aronofsky's visual style and his very specific style of editing, which doesn't come off as crazy as a Requiem for a Dream or as a Pie, but visually does so much in the storytelling of this movie. And I really love just how this film is edited. The film itself also has a great use of set design and also has some fantastic special effects with obesity. Like actually having strong fat suit effects is unfortunately a rarity, where in Avengers Endgame it came off awful. But in this movie, it's done where it feels very realistic, and that's thanks to Brendan's performance. But with that being said, I do feel some of the writing on Sadie Sink's character and on Samantha Morton's character feels a little weak. There's some extremes where those characters will go, which feels cheap and a bit egregious in what they would say. But also, I do think that Sadie Sink's character has a nice hold on just the edgy teen speak around this time. And this is actually kind of a timely movie where it is set during some political events in America without having those be the forefront, without having those come off as an easy message or anything. But when you watch it in context, it really does help add to just more things to pick apart than just the story going through with this movie. Now, I've seen this movie twice because freaking Regal, yeah, Regal, the one with the most annoying ad. I mean, somehow they're a little bit more annoying than the Nicole Kidman ad from AMC, which is already awful. They started the movie right at the time they said they would start, where in every other movie they start 20 minutes after, so I kind of missed it because I was like trying to get a refund for something at the front because somebody canceled. I was like, ugh. But it made me end up seeing it again yesterday, a week later, and this is a movie that does hold up on rewatch. It honestly, is it my second favorite film of the year? I'm not sure. It's either my second or third. I don't know if I like Tar a little bit more than this, and I do like this more than Bardo, because Bardo used to be my second, but then I started to reevaluate it, and I'm like, I really want to rewatch Tar, but on those first viewings, I think I like Tar a little bit more. I don't know if I don't know if I like Tar more than this movie, but I think I'll say this is my second favorite. But I will rewatch Tar soon. So for now, this will be my second favorite of 2022, but I will acknowledge this movie is not for everybody. If somehow people overweight makes you laugh, I don't think you should watch this movie. And I don't know why that makes so many people laugh, but whatever. And I also think that if you're not in for a sad experience, this is a pretty darn sad movie. So I understand, to each their own. So with that being said, I would rate this movie a very high 8 out of 10. I really love this movie. So let me know in the comments if you've seen The Whale and what you think of it. Just respectfully state your opinion. If you agree or disagree, I really want to hear. Subscribe for more film reviews, and I'll see you later. Peace out.